passion, drama, I mean, we are really feeding ourselves from external sources. And when we do that, we're opening ourselves up to be invaded, violated, attacked. Like it's not a good scene. So and it's disempowering, because then you can develop a dependency. There could be a dependency on food, there could be a dependency on a person, there could be a dependency on a job. So this is where we're literally pouring our power out into these other external sources of energy and disempowering ourselves. So what I found in going through the ascension process, and when I talk about the ascension process, it's very basic. This is where we work with our own flow of energy. So I'm talking about sourcing ourselves, our own energy. We're built with a core pillar of energy that's fed by chakra centers, and we have 7 in the body and 5 of us. There's actually 12 chakra centers that are to fuel our life force. And they're corresponding to the 12 levels or dimensions of our existence here, of our universe. So the ascension process is literally working up each chakra system to get it open, fueling with your own soul energy. So you're sourcing yourself in each dimensional chakra all the way up to the 12th, to the Godhead. This is what I call the ascension process. There's a lot of stuff out there about ascension. I don't understand a lot of it. I just know what I did myself and what works and what I'm teaching. So so to me the ascension plan is first getting the core chakras, so this is 1st through 4 up to the heart, open, so we can pull the soul into our bodies. Because when I connect with people, for the most part, their souls aren't even in their bodies yet. Mine wasn't. It was more in the mind, it was more in the aura. I couldn't even get my God self inside me to fuel me and to connect to that spiritual energy. So the first thing is you got to clear your channel here to pull the soul in and begin to integrate the human and the soul presence together so they form as one. They start to operate as one. They start to fuel your life and what you manifest. So okay, that's the ascension process as I know it. And then once you get the soul presence in, everything changes because you're now operating from a core power, a core presence is grounded in the body. You're holding it on the earth, and you're able to use the magnetism of this soul energy pull to you what matches, to pull to you what you need, to pull to you what supports your reality, supports your life, supports your needs. Instead of having to go outside yourself to feed on whatever you can get your hands on. It's where you really start to use your own power, your own soul presence, your own magnetism, and to pull it in. Now, that sounds easy, but pulling it in was the hard part. And so this is where I was guided by my own soul to work with the rhythm of the universe, to work with this natural movement of the galactic core of our universe, which is a vortex energy. And the center point of our universe, the creation point of our universe, is a black hole. It's a vortex energy. And within that central vortex of our galactic core, stars are being birthed. So it's where photon light and a momentum of spin, of a torque spin or vacuum effect of gravity, come together and they form matter. So this is where the matter and the antimatter fields meet in the still point and the 0 point energy of vortex energy. That's what I was guided to start to use so that I would actually put myself, my body, heart, mind in that 0 point of a vortex and start changing it, start recreating it, and it works. So this is what I will want to demonstrate with you is how to get a vortex of energy working around you, and then how you use it to transform your own bioenergetics, where you really start to become the alchemist of your life, because what we hold in here is what we magnetize to us. We're magnetic fields. That magnetic field wraps around every cell of your body. It draws to you what you're carrying in your cells. So we use the vortex technique also to clear out of our cells discordant energy, the patterns that are from families of origin or past lives that are actually trapping us and holding us locked into debilitating realities that are painful. And so we use the vortex to spin out what doesn't work, spin out what is out of balance, and then use it to spin in like a tornado the soul into the body, because that was the hardest part for me, was getting my soul into my core. So you use your mind to direct the intent of what you want to use with the spin of the vortex. Either it's going to be a clearing out or it's going to be an integrating in, okay? And then as you do that, you're starting to work yourself up the dimensional chakras. And so heart chakra is the fourth dimensional chakra. This is where the world, I think, is trying to go right now. You know, we're trying to just let go of all of this addiction to the material external world and kind of get the heart open again. So you're using the vortex to open that heart center where spirit is just full and open and filled, and if you've got a healthy, brave heart, you're not guarded, you know, you're not afraid, fear leaves, and you're really able to connect to people, really bond at the heart center. You get into the fifth dimensional chakra. This is what we call setting up this still point energy. So let me just describe that real quickly. In the center of the galactic core of our universe, in this vortex vacuum, where matter and antimatter come together to create, it's called singularity. Quantum mechanics is called singularity. So it's actually the collapse of a gravitational field, and it's an expansion of the magnetic field. And so this is where it's happening, that pulse of collapse. It's like breath, you know, you just breathe in and breathe out. It's just the collapse into singularity and then the expansion into a particle field of form. This is what's happening on our planet. So this collapse is occurring so that we can then birth out and expand out the new Earth, the new paradigm. So that they have been able to prove that point, that still point of singularity of our galactic orbit universe is also in every atom of our cells. So on the subatomic level, we have singularity. And so in every atom of our being, we can collapse what doesn't work. This is how we use the vortex. And then we birth what is new. We birth what is healthy, what is balanced, what is whole, what is a direct match to your soul template. So you start to actually transform your bioenergetics to begin to actually mirror your soul essence, mirror your soul truth. And then that, again, because there's a magnetic field, but then gets pulled to you is a life that matches your soul truth. So you guys following me? Does this make sense? I'm kind of moving through the progression here. So this is how we start to become alchemists. This is where we really use what's already present in our universe, in our lives, and in our own bodies, and in our own cells, and in our own magnetic fields. And this is how the law of attraction doesn't work really well when you have all of this discordant energy stored into your cells. That's all you keep drawing to yourself. So this is where you have to do the work, you have to do the clearing, you do the process. And I found for me that the biggest benefit is to be able to hold that still point inside myself. Oh my God, it's like heaven, because for the most part of my life, I had, you know, the mind going out of crazy, I had panic attacks, I had OCD, you know, I couldn't calm myself down, I couldn't hold the still point. And so the meditation and the vortex saved my life. So I'm not kidding. I mean, it really trained my mind to hold the point of light right in the center of the mind, still, quiet. It's a miracle, but I got it to work. And I think it's because I was using this powerful vortex energy to do it. Hold the still point in the heart. Then I could really just be open with all beings. Positive or negative, light or dark. You start to move. When you move through the ascension, you're able to be in all energy, positive and negative, light and dark, shadow, all energies in that neutrality, in that still point, because you're with all. You're just holding the space of all. That's where we're heading. That's when you really start to live and operate as a divine human, where you're not reacting all the time to the external imbalances around you. You're able to just be in that calm, stillness is quiet, and I found it was hard in the beginning because my human ego was very addicted to the drama. And it was like, you take the drama from me, how can I live? It's going to be like still? You're telling me it's going to be still? Oh, well, that had to get over. You know, I had to get over that because the stillness is bliss. The stillness, what I found when I can get into that still point, and when I'm talking still point, that's the creation point, you guys. That's between the particle field and the antiparticle. That's where all creation happens. This is where alchemy occurs. So when you can get into that stillness, into the collapse, and you can keep opening in balance, opening in neutrality, and just holding that constantly, what that does is it opens your bioenergetics to spirit, to all that is. When we're in polarity, so when we're in this extreme, you know, bouncing back between positive and negative, or victim and persecutor, that's why everyone's souls are out of their body. When you're in a polarized energy, the spirit cannot come in. The spirit exists in the still point, so we have to create it inside us. So we have to let go of our addiction even to drama. We have to be able to be calm, hold that neutrality, not react to all that's going around us, and then you hold constant presence with the spirit, with the soul inside. Does that make sense? Does anyone have questions?
Hey, Meg?
Yes.
I just want to make a quick adjustment.
It sounds a lot like what has been told me by my guides. They use the metaphor slightly differently, though, and that is using a whirlwind, the center points of stillness,
Yep.
and a whirlwind, and how you don't grab onto the things that are going around in the whirlwind, otherwise you're going to be pulled in the whirlwind.
Okay, so that whirlwind, what you're talking about is vibration. If it charged me up, if it felt yummy, I let it in. Otherwise, we don't go near it.
Yes.
And it's not about judgment or, any of that. It's just selectivity. I'm very selective now of the energy, because I learned about this whole exchange of energy was poisoning me. It was all this toxic stuff was getting into me, and I was actually getting physically ill. So I had to get very selective on what I ingest in my chakras and in even what I eat. So it's like really had to get very selective. But it helped, because what I'm doing is I'm creating an environment for pure creation to happen. And I'm creating an environment for soul and human to merge. And that's the goal. We want to be able to bring the two aspects of us together where there's no more separation. There's nowhere where I have to go in meditation so I can kind of connect up to my soul and hear what my soul's saying. No more. You want to live it like in the moment, where you, boom, you know what you need to do now. Boom, you know the answer to this. Boom, you know. So that's where you really start to live in union, where the soul and the human are living as one. Okay? The mind stops completely, and it's quiet. So there's just pure quiet. And what happens is actually the aura starts to expand. So you actually feel kind of an opening. You don't tighten it. You're in an expanded space where actually even the timelines blur, where you're now beginning to connect to where you are in all 12 dimensions, all timelines, past, present, and future, where you become this whole multi-dimensional being. So stillness is the portal to souls to come into the earth plane and really be present. It is a portal. It's actually a very sacred portal. So the body goes still. Even the heart slows down. The mind is quiet. And then everything starts to expand.
I've experienced that one. My notice is like
That's the human ego. So that's
What was
the.
that? Can you repeat the question?
So when she gets into stillness and quiet, the mind actually starts to freak out. So this is the part of our human ego self that's afraid of losing the drama. It's afraid that it's going to die. It's afraid it's going to be annihilated because we're basically telling it to shut up, right? We're taking control. It will fight, and this is what we call this ego resistance. When you get to this point where you're really starting to assert that the soul now is going to hold the higher intent, right? The soul is now going to be what guides the light. We hit up against the ego resistance, and I found that to be obviously it's fifth dimensional, but because we want to set up in the fifth dimensional kind of throat chakra system where you're expressing the soul finally through your words and your actions as holding still point here. So it's holding you can still point in your throat chakra, holding still point where you can. The heart and throat are like the figure eight, where they're holding as one constant stillness of union. And so soul truth now gets expressed out of you, and the ego learns to trust the soul truth. Over time, you can have resistance for a while, but then the ego begins to go, this is great stuff. So it starts to listen. Actually now my ego will ask, I don't know what's happening here, what do I do? Right? So it turns to the wisdom of the soul, because it's been demonstrated with evidence that it's very trustworthy. And then the resistance dies out. Then it's non-existent, because it's kind of surrendered to the trusting the wisdom of the soul. That's what happens gradually, to give it true evidence that this is working. I feel ego resistance will come up like the neck tension. You'll get into body tension too, right? It can show up in lots of different physical ways. And usually